Welcome back to the channel. Well, today was a chain cleaning day of all my two-wheeled friends, and I just realized I never did a final build review of my Kawasaki Mini Moto. So let's change that. Without further ado, let's take a look what I actually have done to this little Mini Moto and how it came out and what I think about it. To start it off, let's start off at the back. At its core, you're looking at a 2022 Kawasaki Z125 Pro that Kawasaki has been building pretty much unchanged throughout the last few years. It is intended as a direct Honda Grom competitor, and while pretty bland in stock form, it doesn't take much to customize it and personalize it to your liking and change it quite a bit from stock form. So let's take a look what I did. As with almost every motorcycle that is sold here in the US, the factory stock tail usually sticks out quite a bit and looks also quite ugly. What I did here is I picked up a $25 tail tidy from Amazon, and nothing fancy, but works really well. It utilized the stock blinker or turn signals, and was about a 20 to 30 minute affair, but came out pretty good. And as I said, I could have gotten more fancy with different license plate lights and the different turn signals, but I thought it actually looks pretty good, and so I just left it as is. As I never carry a passenger or pillion with me, since my better half doesn't like to ride with me on the back, neither do my kids, I always start deleting the rear passenger packs. What I did here is I picked up a rear pack delete with what I call little pugs here for the position where the rear passenger packs were, and I picked that one up, I believe, from Man in the Box, and it actually is more, in my book, a cosmetic solution. They are saying it is also crash protection, but like in this case here on this side, if the bike would fall over, it would fall over on my exhaust rather than the pug. On the other side, I can kind of see it, but again, this is more a cosmetic solution to have something in place where the passenger's packs used to be. Speaking of exhaust, I obviously had to replace the stock exhaust. I went with a Leo Vinci full system that was very easy to install, and replaced the underbelly system that came from the factory. As you can see, it colored in nicely and sounds obviously so much better than the lawnmower sound that comes with the stock exhaust. No tuning has been done. From what I understand, it is a straight bolt-on system, and I have been running it now for about 5 months, and no complaints whatsoever. One of the best mods you can do for the little Mini Moto from Kawasaki is changing out the seat bank. Sounds really simple, it is very simple, and in my book it totally changes the look of the bike. It is also much more comfortable than the stock seat bank, and the seating position moves from kind of sitting on top of the bike to sitting in the bike, and all I can say is it's amazing. I usually don't rave much about aftermarket products, but this is one I picked up over Amazon as well, came from Taiwan, and it's just perfect. Yes, you can see the little red stitching here goes perfectly along with the red coloring, and even the carbon fiber kind of waving that I have in here, the material they used, goes perfectly along with the fake carbon fiber plastics that come from the bike in factory form. So again, that is probably one of the best mods you can do, and I highly recommend it. Moving right along, downstairs so to speak, I replaced the factory shift lever with a shift lever from Driven that I picked up over at Man in the Box as well. It is bendable, like you can see here, and directly connects to the shift rod, which gives you a much better shifting feeling than what came from the factory. What is from the factory, there is a shift linkage that somehow went between this hole here and the shift lever or the shift rod that goes into the transmission, and let me tell you, it felt spongy, it felt not very direct at all, and I didn't get a good feeling. And this is one very simple mod again that you can do. It just bolts on with one screw down here, and you can even change the position of it, and it improves the feeling of the shifter tenfold. Also highly recommended, and again, does not break the bank at all. I believe it was like 45 or 55 bucks. Moving up again, upstairs so to speak, let's take a look at the handlebars, as there's quite a bit going on here. First of all, I deleted the stock mirrors that stuck out like ugly little antlers, and just plugged the mirror holes on both sides with little red anodized plugs. Again, kind of goes fairly well with the color of the bike, so that's a very easy mod to do. Speaking of the mirror, I replaced it again with a mirror from Amazon that very easily bolts on. You can have it either underneath the bike or you can have it on top of the bike, but I usually on these little bikes just go with one mirror anyway, and that is one very easy simple mod to improve the overall looks of the bike. Since we're up here, you probably also noticed I replaced the ugly silver stock levers, the clutch lever and the brake lever. These are some levers that I picked up from TSD Industries, and they are adjustable, they are shorties, and much like the shift lever from Driven, they improve the feeling of the clutch and the brakes tenfold. I like them a lot. As I said, they are adjustable here, super easy, and no complaints, well worth the money spent. Also, once again, very easy to install, so that is also a mod I would probably highly recommend. Does not only improve the looks but also the feeling of the brake and the clutch. While I did not mind the looks and the size of the turn signals in the back, in the front it was a different story. And I ended up replacing the stock signals with ones from TSD Industries that are very streamlined or slimlined, and they are LED instead of incandescent, and they work very well, very bright, and again, from a looks point of view, they integrated very well with the bike, and I like them a lot. Last but not least, I installed some front sliders on the axles of the front wheel, mainly for looks, but they are also supposed to help with crash protection. It was a fairly easy install. You have to take the axle out up front and then slide these over, and that is about it. Once again, I try to color match it, the red with the color of the bike. I also have them for the back, but I haven't gotten a chance to install them. I was just going to wait until I replace the stock tires with better ones, but that will about do it. Overall, what do I think of the little Z125 Pro? I think for the money, you just can't beat it. And from a fun factor, I think everybody should have at least one in his garage, because they are just a different type of riding, so easy, so worry-free. They are cheap to maintain, and again, doesn't break the bank. And for me, I am using this bike mostly when I just feel the urge to go out for 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes and just want to have some fun without starting up any of the bigger bikes. And this one just fits the bill. I like the way it looks. Performance-wise, obviously, it is not the fastest bike, but then again, if you want a faster bike, just buy a bigger bike. I know there are big bore kits out there for these, and air filter mods and tuning mods, but again, this bike is not about being fast. It is for me just about having fun and enjoying the ride, and in its form, especially the way I build it now for myself. It does exactly that, and that is all I need. If I want something bigger, I have my Triumph Trident, or if I want to go off-road, I got the KLX 230. But for just pure, easy fun, this is the way to go for me. As always, keep it on 2, be safe out there, and I will see you soon in the next one. Bye.